don't know why just the one here, but it seems to be working for Gary Anderson at the moment, playing extremely well. My outside tip, and then we can see the earplug in it, so you can actually call Justin Pipe whatever you want while he's got them in. Just don't call him something when he hasn't. An ex-cage fighter, so not a person you want to upset very quickly.
And Stephen Bunting straight in with a ton 40. He came through against Ross Smith in the opening round. A 6-1 win, but hardly vintage Stephen Bunting stuff, the Lakeside champion, only an 89 average. But got through against a potentially tricky customer in Ross Smith. That's bought in the chance to try and turn on the style here against Justin Pipe, the number 14 seed, and a man who has tasted victory on this European tour before.
135.
I think with Steve, what is happening is, you know, we'd normally say it don't matter how you win that first game, you just get over it. You know, a win's a win. The first game you're always edgy, but I think what Steve wants to do, he doesn't only want to win, he wants to impress people. You know, he's coming over here with a lot of reputation, and he's, right, I've got to impress them, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. I don't want them to think I'm just a no-hoper. So he's put a lot of extra pressure on his shoulders, which he actually doesn't have to do. You know, all the players that have come over, they've all been accepted as great dart players, and, you know, you just get out of it and you kind of join the family, I suppose. Because he is the family guy, you know?
He is the family guy, you're quite right. Striking resemblance to cartoon character Peter Griffin. And Stephen Bunting, this is for a potential 12 darter. Well, it could be an 11 darter, look at this. Double 16 for an 11 darter and a break of throw.
Well, we were talking about impressionists, and that certainly impressed us, Steve. A tidy 11 darter, and we say it so often, Dan, that if you're going to do 12 and under, do it against a throw. If you're going to hit 180s, they're always better off against a throw.
Yeah, well, that's a textbook leg from Steve Bunting here. 140, 135, 140, and then taking out 86 in 2 darts. So he's out the blocks quickly. I did mention that Justin Pipe has tasted success on the European Tour before. He did that in 2012, the Austria Darts Open. He beat Barney and Wade in the semi-final and the final. That moved him into the top 16 of the world for the first time. It's a position that he's been holding pretty much ever since. He's world rank number 11 now.
Well, he was pushing the top 8 at one time.
Desperately trying to give Barry Hearn a headache about the Premier League.
He's a very sensible person as well. He's got his feet on the ground, has Justin. And he knows the position. He knows what he's got to do.
Not quite found his range at the moment, though.
No, it was interesting this morning. I had a good chat with a lot of players in the practice room. And I have to say, it's very jovial, which is not very often that happens. There's always a couple of miserable ones in there. And we were talking about players getting tired, and, you know, as we mentioned yesterday, and everyone in that room says, put more tournaments on. Put more tournaments on. Run them Friday, Saturday and Sunday. You know, let's get more tournaments on, which was strange because a few people have been saying that they're feeling tired and they're on the road too much. But I suppose it's to make hay while the sun is shining.
95.
Well, a lot of them, when they are playing well and having success, they'll just want to keep on playing. And we've had a number of different winners and people going deep into tournaments of late. I mean, Stephen Bunting in his first weekend in the PDC managed to pick up a title himself. Our second Liverpool fan on the hockey today after Jamie Caven. He'll be hoping that his afternoon goes better than Caven's after a 6-1 defeat to Andrew Gilding.
Yeah, Jamie Caven's another one that's got to just keep an eye on his form. Just dipped a little bit, and you know the way the standard is, we say it so often, there's no sympathy in this game. You know, if you're on a downer, you're going to get hammered even more. Well, he wanted another one of those and would have left the bullseye. So a chance here for Justin Pipe to break straight back.
Yeah, and after a superb 11 darter to break in the opening leg, Stephen Bunting's already thrown 18 darts and hasn't had a dart at double, and kind of undoing all his good work. But here we go, Justin Pipe has a dart to break back here, and double 16 is what he wants. And double 16 is what he gets. Superb stuff, clinical from Justin Pipe.
Perfect. Justin just for first. Game on.
Well, Bunting kicked off with that 11 darter and just gave the next leg back to
100.
Justin Pipe. That's where he needed to really kick him with a big strong leg on his throat, get command of the game, put pressure on your opponent.
59.
Well, 100% each on the doubles. Don't think it will stay like that throughout the game, but anything above 50 is classed as extremely good.
And look at this from Steve Bunting. He is known for his 180 hitting, and there's the first one of the match. The man from St Helens filling it up. Must be something about people from St Helens and 180s. Michael Smith and Dave Chisnell, both absolute maximum merchants, and Justin Pipe looking to respond in kind.
140.
Well, Pipe did exactly what you've got to do. Your opponent hits a big score, you just rattle back at him.
98. Justin
Pipe now in the driving seat in this third leg. Bunting's on a shot, so Pipe, he misses the treble 20. Well, he hasn't now. He's going to go 11 for the bullseye. Treble 11 will leave him double 14. That leaves him double 14. Just a little bit up from that and over to the left.
93.
Well, Bunting is back on 164, so this is a very, very big ask. And it's not going to happen, so Pipe will be back for double 14.
64.
Popular with Mensur Suljevic, not that popular with many others. Should be able to work his way in from there. And does so. And Justin Pipe moves into the lead for the first time.
Well, Stephen Bunting hit a maximum in that leg and never even got a dart at a double, so two good legs from Justin Pipe. Well, like we said, you know, Steve Bunting had 11 dart first leg to break the throw, but since then has not really done anything. And he's got to be careful here that Pipe doesn't go and break the throw. There we have the stats. That the 11 from Bunting, an 18, and that was on the Bunting throw. So that's a poor leg from Steve after firing that 11.
Yeah, it's a gift for from Bunting, that.
134.
Better stuff from the Bullets. Justin Pipe's little lad, CJ. I've interviewed Justin with CJ sat in his lap before. He's quite a good talker. 10 years old today, apparently.
85.
One of 3 kids. Don't believe his Wikipedia page. That for a while did say he had 4. The 4th one called Overflow Pipe. Turns out that was erroneous. Did some digging. Found out that's not the case.
54.
Yes, and I have to say happy birthday to my eldest son today. Forget how old he is, but it is his birthday.
140.
Well, another strong leg from Justin Pipe here. Oh, Bunting needs more of that. Oh, and he's getting more of that. Fantastic work, Stephen Bunting, a second 180. But there's a sniff of a chance for Justin here.
And you're right, Dan, Bunting needed that maximum as well. He still only make it 1 dart at a double, so Justin, now will he use the 25 here, which will give him a dart at tops instead of the bullseye? Well, he's gone for the right shot there, percentage shot, but he's hit the 18, so It will be the dart at the bullseye. That's if Bunting misses. 18 leaves him double top. Tops for parity.
35. Justice required 87.
So this isn't as easy as he would have liked. A treble with his first dart, which he gets, makes it a heck of a lot easier, and Justin Pipe for a breaker throw and a 3-1 lead. Might be a little bit awkward with the way his dart's lying. There's plenty of room though.
51.
Can't find the double. And Stephen Bunting breathes a sigh of relief and gets another dip, a double top. And takes it out first dart. 2 apiece here.
A massive chance there for Justin Pipe to take a 2-leg lead. A 2 darts at double 18. Both wide, but both not in. He still has the advantage that he's thrown first in this leg. So if it goes all the way, he will have the deciding throw.
Bunting did win a couple of very tight games in qualifying for this tournament though, both 6-5 victories over John Bowles and James Wade. He doesn't mind it going close. Remember at the UK Open, managed to come from behind, beat Kevin Dowling 9-8, took a 1-5-1 checkout in the final leg, I believe, to seal the deal. He's got bottle.
100.
You can see Justin's disgust with that second dart, and that has opened the door for Stephen Bunting to come in with a big one. Needs to find the treble himself.
43.
Well, let off.
Yeah, that's when you've got to punish your opponent. You know, we're getting to the nitty-gritty of a tournament. The big money's starting to come in, you know, and that equates to ranking points, and he needs to move up the rankings, and you get chances. Very easy for us to sit here and take. You've got to take them, but the fact is, you know, you've got to punish your opponent, and that's where, you know, the Taylors and the Wades and the Lewises. That's why they've been the multiple champions.
It's the consistency, isn't it? It's knowing that when your opponent steps to the board, each visit, he's going to be really breathing down your neck. He's not going to have one good one, one poor one, and you think, well, I might get away with this. But that is a good visit. But that consistency, that's what makes you miss your own darts.
It is, yeah. I mean, that leg-on-leg pressure that the top players put on their opponents. You know, I think that's why, you know, when they lose a leg, they're not over-bothered. It doesn't get at them because they know that the next leg is going to be as consistent, and so they put the pressure on their opponent to miss shots.
Well, a ton from Justin Pipe leaves him on a potential 2-darter. Stephen Bunting will be looking to leave himself sitting pretty and apply some pressure. Look at that. Now that is pressure. This is a big shot in the 5th leg of the match. Can Justin Pipe close it out? He needs to find a treble. He's not got it. And suddenly, that dart from Stephen Bunting, those 2 in the treble 19,
38.
may have bought him a chance to go 3-2 up. And he takes it. And Stephen Bunting is back in the lead for the first time since the opening leg.
I heard a great quote in the Masters from Jack Nicklaus. You know, they asked him about him winning multiple tournaments, especially at the Masters, and he said, you know, sometimes it's not what I did, it's what the others didn't. And it's a bit like a game of darts, you know, if you're consistent, you know what your level is. So it isn't what you're going to do, it's what they're not going to do to you, as in firing a couple of 12 darters. And, so you keep that consistent pressure on your opponent, and it stops them from doing the exceptional.
Barely time to register the second dart in the treble 20, and Bunting has already thrown his third.
Well, there we have the stats. Pretty impressive from Stephen Bunting.
100.
Overall average of 99, take every day of the week. The first 9 dart average, you know, you'd expect that up to 110 plus to really impress us in the comms box here.
100.
140s around about the same, so are the tons. 2 180s relate to Bunting being 3-2 up.
$57. Stephen, you require 161. $22.
And not a time to have a bad visit from Bunting, so now Justin Pipe needs a minimum of a ton. Now that's a perfect dart for Bunting, for Pipe, sorry. Just lays it on the flight. That's exactly what he's done. Now he'll lay these on both those flights for another treble 20.
140.
Well, he read the script very well, did Justin Pipe. And that 22 has caused a massive problem for Stephen Bunting. It's opened the door for Pipe now.
54. Justin, you require.
Well, Justin should get at least a dart here. So just double 16 now to level the match.
48.
Why is it? I'm not sure, it might have caught the flight there as well as one of his other darts. Difficult to tell.
Well, treble 15. A lot of players will go the 25 on this to guarantee themselves the double top, but Bunting's the dart at the bullseye. As I said, a lot of pros go for the 25-20, gives you that dart at the tops instead of the bullseye. Percentage-wise, a lot better, but now Pipe to level it up at 3 legs apiece. And does a bit of a messy leg, but at the end of it, it's Justin Pipe that makes it 3 legs all, and now gets the advantage back.
Well, just like we saw in the first and second leg, Stephen Bunting does very well to break the Pipe throw, then hasn't managed to go out in 18 darts or fewer in the next leg on his own throw, and Pipe steps in.
97.
Unforgiving the world of PDC darts. 1 good leg out of 2 often isn't enough. Certainly not when you're playing the world number 11, as Stephen Bunting misses out on his 3rd maximum of the match. Winner of this one goes through to play either Brendan Dolan or Kurt Shepherd. Brendan Dolan, Justin Pipe, that's one for the purists. Drink that one in.
I got a doctor's appointment.
45.
But 2 of the most underestimated players in the game. You know, people tend to think that they win matches because they're slow, and I can assure you that is not the case. And Brendan Dolan at the moment is playing exceptionally well. Won a tour event last weekend up in Wigan.
2nd of the year, and I think he's 4th in about 4 or 5 months, I think.
Yeah, well under 6 months anyway.
59.
Yeah, playing some very good stuff. Brendan Dolan, dangerous customer.
It's ironic because I spoke to him before the Grand Prix, 3 years ago, when he had that run and got to the final. And if he didn't do well that weekend, he was packing up darts.
Yeah.
It just shows you how it can turn.
Yeah, he'd be up a ladder being a decorator with his brothers if it wasn't for that magical run at the Grand Prix as Justin Pipe.
125.
Well, that's very frustrating for Justin, because even just staying straight there and hitting the big number would have left him on a finish.
65.
He's not really been made to pay there by Stephen Bunting.
No, you would think that Justin's going to get 6 darts from this 175, and the treble 1 is not going to help. The treble 20 will, and certainly another one of those will set it up pretty good for Justin Pipe. Top of the shop for Stephen Bunting. 2 treble 20s and the bullseye. Oh, and that is absolutely perfect. So is that. Is the 3rd one perfect? It is! Stephen Bunting takes out the highest check out of the German masters so far. Breaks the throat of Justin Pipe again. And 3 beautiful darts.
Phenomenal stuff. Phenomenal stuff from Stephen Bunting. A 170 checkout. And as the match hung in the balance as well. Well, we've mentioned this a couple of times about a good leg or a moment of brilliance and then following up with something not quite at the same standard. Throws 3 perfect darts and then chucks 2 in the treble 5. Does that open the door for Justin Pipe to come back at him? Well, he's just landed above the treble 20 there and
59.
isn't able to find the 57 either. So Stephen Bunting, this game is there for the taking for the Bullet. Could we see another seed go out of the German Darts Masters? Already seen Jamie Caven go down to Andrew Gilding. Robert Thornton beaten by Vincent van der Voort.
Well, Justin's having a problem at the moment that his darts are going just over the treble. That's a better dart because it's just under. He should be able to find the treble 19 from there.
58.
Well, that's over pitched. And it does get frustrating when you're not getting that first dart in a good position. Well, that's a perfect position for Stephen Bunting. Surely he will find a ton from here.
100.
Well, Justin needs more of that just to keep pace with Bunting in this one. Brilliant stuff. He hasn't hit a maximum yet. Not in this match. But there's his first one. He needed it. He's got it. And the pressure switches back to Bunting.
Well, 64 scored. And stays down there for another 57. So a chance here for Justin. Well, the previous leg he wanted 204 and hit a 140, and then Bunting took the 170 out. Pipe now needs at least 1 treble, but he needs the red colour, not the green.
54. Stephen, you require
Well,
128.
he took out 170 in the last leg. This should be easier. Treble 20 for Bull. Not going to happen. Now can Justin Pipe respond in kind? He had to sit there and take the blow. Suffering 170 checkout from Stephen Bunting in the previous leg. Well, the 150 is not going to happen. But if he does set it up well, there's at least pressure on that 89.
100.
Well, that helps.
Stephen, you require 89.
But can you hold your nerve, Stephen?
Well, the last dart of the previous set, he hit the 1, which has cost him a dart of the double. Well, he's going to have a dart of double. Double 5! Well, he takes out the 170 and just flicks in the double 5 for 89. And he's 1 leg away from beating the seed here in this match, Justin Pipe. And the last 2 legs, Justin is sitting on shots, just waiting to pounce. And Bunting's, well, talk about a haymaker.
100.
Yeah, it's a big ask now for Justin Pipe. He's got to win the next 3 legs. He is throwing first in 2 of them. But Bunting will know if he can just find a 12 darter in the next 3 legs. Just 1. That may be enough to get over the line. And with his scoring power, he's always capable of doing that. But Justin Piper started off this leg well. A 10-40. He'll be looking to follow it with another. Gets it.
140.
Well, Bunting's following
130.
superb leg of darts here. It's a leg that Justin Pipe has got to win. And he finds the treble 20 again.
Well, he's knocked the 1 off.
81.
Not ideal for Pipe, but not the end of the world. Not unless Bunting fires in a maximum. Well, 2 trebles would make him think.
96. Justin, you require 140.
Another one of those leaves double 10. Oh, and he has found the other treble. Double 10 to stay in the match. A great check out from Justin Pipe. We've seen some superb finishing in this match. 170 from this man and 140 for Justin Pipe to stay in the match. And what a way to start a leg where you're throwing first for the match.
Well, this is the leg for Stephen Bunting. This is the one he's throwing first in. Justin Pipe needs to win the next two. Bunting knows with the throw, this will be his best chance for victory. He started off in a perfect manner with a 177. Pipe hits a 140 himself. But Bunting knows if he can just keep on going here. Well, 4 perfect darts.
100.
He'll still be relatively happy with 224 left after 2 visits to the board. Justin Pipe digging deep. Look at this from Justin Pipe.
121.
And again a deflection into the one. That's really costly. Really costly. But a visit without a treble from Bunting. Yeah, that was a great dart. Justin Pipe would have been standing there thinking, you know, a visit without a treble lets me in. Now anything short of a 140 is not going to be good enough.
Backs to the wall stuff from Justin Pipe, but he's still alive. He took out 140 in the last leg. He may need to take it out again, and that's assuming that Stephen Bunting doesn't take out this, and he's probably going to get a dart. He is going to get a dart. Stephen Bunting for the match.
113.
Misses double 11, but he is asking Justin Pipe to repeat his feat of the last leg. Well, surely he's not going to do it again. 2 legs running, 140 checkout. Oh, he's giving himself a dart at it. Oh my word!
30.
Fantastic stuff from Justin Pipe. He gave himself a chance. But is that the last dart he throws at the German Darts Masters? Steve Bunting has got 2. He's looking at double 4 here. 2 darts in his hand. Tries to compose himself. A place against Brendan Dolan or Kirk Shepherd awaits in the 3rd round. And he nails it first dart. A fantastic game of darts between these two. It's another seeded player who crashes out.